Hello, my name is Mary Morell. I am the family specialist with the Missouri DeafBlind Project. And with me is Natasha, who can introduce herself.
Yep, I'm Natasha. Sign name is an N with the combination of smart. And I am the project coordinator for the Missouri Deafblind Project and the spearhead here on the Midwest Transition Institute. Could not do without Mary. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about what to expect at MTI, our facility, and just some basic information on the types of sessions we have planned and try and get people a little bit excited and ready to sign up because the registration is open.
Yes, we're so excited. The registration is open. For those of you who attended today, we'll send out the registration near the end. But we just want to open by saying how excited we are and kind of getting you a little bit of information on what MTI is. I recognize some faces and don't recognize a couple. For those of you who are new or maybe are wondering, MTI is the Midwest Transition Institute. And it is a transition weekend, like a conference or a camp, you can call it whatever you'd like. But it's a transition weekend where young adults who have passed their first year of high school, so probably around the ages of 15 up to 21, can come. We're hosting it in St. Louis this year. It's usually, it in the past has kind of circled around to 9 or 10 different Midwestern states. And this year we're hosting it at the Webster University's campus, which Natasha will talk just a little bit about. But all of the participants will join us July 14th through the 17th. And we will enjoy a weekend of sessions and presentations, workshops that all have to do with deaf blindness, that hearing and vision loss, and how that works into your transition plan as you leave high school and try to figure out the world afterwards. So it's a really amazing opportunity for young adults to be able to come together and meet people who have a similar disability as them, and also some adults, some mentors that have similar disabilities, and recognize what the opportunities are and maybe get a little bit more of an idea of what they plan to do after high school. We're also going to have some amazing activities and challenging events that allow the kids to kind of get outside of their comfort zone, but also experience what life will be like maybe in a college setting or in a career setting, living by themselves in an apartment. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be very fun. And we also want to talk a little bit about what the facility looks like, why we chose the facility that we're staying at, and how that's going to play into our July. So I want to let Natasha kind of talk about that.
Okay. So Webster University is in a suburb of St. Louis called Webster Groves. It is a small, largely liberal and fine arts university with over 100 campuses around the world. The main campus is in St. Louis, and it is accessible from the St. Louis airport by bus, by light rail, by Uber, whatever way you want to get to campus, you can get to campus. It's a simple hop on the light rail right at the airport terminal, hop off at a specific station, hop on one bus, hop off right in front of one of the buildings that we're using. So that's really nice. The campus is very walkable. We're using a dorm that has also been used by another program that is a transition program for students who are blind. So it has a fully accessible and adapted kitchen available for our use. Suite style dorm rooms with 2 students per room with a bathroom in the middle. Really super easy and convenient in that way. young adults who attend will be matched with a roommate just as you would if you were attending the residential aspect and living on campus in a university setting. And the chaperones who come with the young adults will be up a floor or two. So easy access, but not sharing the same room. You know, that proverbial, you need something, there's a medical emergency or whatever. Accommodations can be made for those who have a medical reason to need a single room. We do have space to accommodate that and a spot on the application to indicate that if that's the case. The dorm that we're using has a multi-purpose room that we have access to, some fun stuff that's also used by the other programs, so already been made accessible. I'm not going to spoil any surprises, but it's a really neat building. And it's about a block and a half from where our sessions will actually happen. That intersection, for those who utilize it, has a properly installed audible pedestrian signal. So if you've never been exposed to one that's actually properly installed, you get the benefit of that, meaning it has voice output and vibration. It's a T intersection. It's not super busy, but it does let you get a little bit of street crossing practice and timing of things and everything in. Really gorgeous campus. And we are a good 5 to 10 minute walk from downtown Webster Groves, which has lots of entertainment and food and places to hang out. Between downtown Webster Groves and us is a high school campus. So it's just used to a ton of people walking around this area of St. Louis. It's very safe. It's very quiet. It's very well known for bringing in students from around the world who don't speak English as their first language. So the businesses around there are very used to working with different communication styles. And we're hoping to build in some access to those businesses throughout the transition weekend for those who choose to attend. I speak very highly of Webster, both as an alum and as a former staff member there. I've seen it from all the sides, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and continue to get information and have some inside influences. My father is actually a professor there. So it makes for a really ideal spot for us based on location and just the atmosphere that is Webster. There, everybody likes to know, like, what's the school's mascot or what are they called or whatever. So the university colors are blue and gold, and their mascot is called a Gorlock. There is a story behind that name that I will share during our opening ceremonies.
So exciting. It's such a fun campus. Like Natasha said, it's very beautiful. And we're really excited to be holding it there. Natasha was kind of alluding to like the dorm situation. Each of the students that are participating with us will be assigned a dorm room and a roommate, because we are simulating that college experience, or just any experience in the future where they might have a roommate. And so unless there is like a medical request for the student not to be in a room with another individual who is deafblind with another participant, that's kind of how we're going to plan out the rooms. And each student will be allowed one chaperone, which can be a sibling, a parent, a teacher, another friend, anybody that they feel comfortable traveling to St. Louis with. And that chaperone will be on the floor above them. So in the same building, just not too close. So we're really excited to see all of these kids get together, make friends, and also learn some really, really good skills. Some of the sessions and workshops that we have, each workshop will be split into 2 sessions. So there will be a session for the chaperones and a session for the young adult participants. Each session will have the same workshop content, but it will be directed towards more of the parent or caregiver role or the young adult role. So some of the sessions that we have planned are an activities of daily living session with one of our local agencies that work with adults who are blind or visually impaired. And they're going to talk about how to adapt your dorm room or apartment in the future to make it so that it's a safe space for you and your vision, as well as having conversations with people around you, your roommates and things like that, and how to advocate for yourself in those settings. There's also going to be a session all about FAFSA and scholarships, how to apply for scholarships, and what's available for individuals who have deafblindness or other disabilities. We'll also have a session on disability advocacy, what it looks like after you no longer have an IEP, what it looks like in college to work with the Disability Resource Center. We're going to have a panel of guide dog users, guide dog handlers. And that's a really exciting session. They're going to talk about what the process is and was that they got their guide dogs, and why it is that they've chosen to use that specific mobility aid. We've got a lot of really fun sessions, and some that are really geared towards parents and others that are really geared towards these young adults. So kind of how the sessions are going to move through, or the days, is that Thursday, the 14th, is a travel day. So students will and participants will arrive on Thursday. Friday, we'll start off with a bang. We'll have opening ceremonies and then move through our sessions of the day. We'll have 3 sessions on Friday. And then in the evening, we'll have like an opening social, an opportunity to get to know each other, have a treat, and we'll have some fun there. In between all of our sessions, we'll have breaks, which may or may not include fun things like water balloons or a trip to the yogurt shop. And lots of opportunities to be independent and go back to your dorm room if you want, or go out to eat with your roommate if you'd like. We also have a very interesting challenge opportunity, which is an adventure off of campus where we're going to go to an outdoor amphitheater, which gives Broadway level productions in St. Louis. And we'll be seeing West Side Story at the amphitheater. All of the participants will have an opportunity to go onto the stage beforehand and get to know the set, so that when they're then getting interpretation later via sign or cart or whatever it is that they need to get that information, that they'll have some experience of being on the set. We'll also have at that time a little St. Louis barbecue and some fun food from St. Louis. So it's going to be a really fun weekend, lots of surprises and lots of opportunities to have fun. That's kind of what I had planned to say. Is there anything we missed, Natasha, that you want to touch on?
We kind of alluded to some of the options for food that we will have available. We will be providing more of like a continental style breakfast in the morning, but again, having access to that full kitchen means that anybody can bring any food in that they want and make it for themselves. And we're also providing lunch and then dinner on that night that we're attending the Muni. Dinner on your own the other nights. So Thursday, as folks are arriving, grabbing something either en route or once they get to campus. And then Friday and Sunday as well, dinner will be on your own. There are a plethora of eating establishments as well as a grocery store within walking distance. So in welcome packets will include those list of things, and any of those places that cater to specific dietary needs will also be noted. So when you indicate dietary things on the registration, note that that is getting collected and included in the eating out options that will be available to you. I think that is generally it. And I want to open the floor now for questions. You can either just unmute and speak up, use the chat, or if you love the raised hand feature, you can use the raised hand feature.
Question.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'd like to ask, what made you all so interested in this program, particularly?
That's a great question. Both of us are, we both work with the Missouri DeafBlind Project. And so our project has kind of made this deal with other projects near us that plans for this transition weekend. If you're asking like personally why, I personally love working with individuals who have different sensory losses and have some experience with people in my own life who have sensory impairments. So that's why I specifically am working. I'm sure Natasha has a plethora of reasons why she is also working.
Yes, this is Natasha. I do. So I knew that I wanted to work with youth who were trying to figure out what they wanted to do with adulting when I was that age. I am blind and I was very much not prepared for my own transition. And so I really just decided that I was going to take my experiences in my transition program, which was life-changing for me, and apply them to my professional life and really help people. And I've done this in many roles now at this point. I've worked in the K to 12 education system addressing this. I've worked in higher ed disability services addressing this. And now I work for the Missouri DeafBlind Project working on this. I actually wrote my master's thesis statement on transition and successful transition after a transition failure. So this is I like to use the word heart song for me. And it was actually the tilting point when I saw the posting for the job that I now have. It was the thing that made me click apply.
That was a good question. I wasn't expecting that one. Pulling out the deep questions.
Love it.
Does anybody else have any questions about MTI or any of the activities that we'll have? Yes, Michelle.
This is Michelle. I'd like to know what states some of the people on the call are from.
Yes, please. So both of us are from Missouri. So if everybody else on the call wants to, I'll stop the recording now.